Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is David, this is David K Reacts, and here on this channel I ramble with articulation, I hope, about a variety of different musical, audio and video elements of the videos I watch. And today we are back checking out Jinjer. It's been about time I got back to them and I really needed something loud today, so it seemed like a pretty safe bet. And we're here with Vortex. This has been recommended to me by Megan Underwood, by Marcus Faulkner and by Mary Gunn, and possibly others, but those are the ones I wrote down. Thank you very much to you for the recommendation. Yes, I know nothing about this song. I haven't looked it up. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Today I decided not to. So we're going to be going into this one pretty blind. I'm just expecting something amazing, musically complicated, and loud. Those who know my channel will also recognize I'm in a rather weird space today. I'm not back in the basement, despite the background. This is me in a very small space, and a very messy one, hence the cloth. Just kind of life's a little bit topsy-turvy still, so this was the only place I could get a recording done at this point in time. Please pardon the slightly unkempt background. And I'm hoping it doesn't collapse in the middle. It's held up by a microphone stand and a dresser, which is definitely not official official background technique usually. But yes, and I don't really have much more to say because I don't know what I'm getting into with this song, so I'm just going to say welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time here. If it is, the way this works is I'm going to watch this through from beginning to end, commenting and emoting over the top. I will then go back and watch the video a second time, this time pausing, interrupting and offering what commentary and analysis I feel I can, based on what I've just seen and heard and the foreknowledge of the one prior viewing. If you're just here for the reaction, the first quarter or so of this video should be good for you. Also, please check the description down below. You will find a link there to the channel and also to the original video. Please check those out before you watch this. Jinjer are the original artists of this. I am merely analysing their work. And please do hit the like and subscribe buttons and the notification bell. And if you'd like to support the channel, you can do so at buymeacoffee.com/DavidKReacts, at patreon.com/DavidKReacts, or by leaving a super thanks here on YouTube. And more details on those at the end of the video. I just need to readjust one thing, so there's going to be a minor break here, and then on we will go. Okay, so without any further delay, here is Jinjer and Vortex. Oops. Ooh, that's an awesome line. I love the sparseness of this.
Like a lunatic, frantic, the man in the room looks so dramatic with a latitude on his right foot. The spiral traffic feels too dramatic.
Oh, that's a really nice build. This is amazingly cool. Oh, trippy. Oh, the bit of scream in the background there. That's awesome. Ooh. The discordancy. Oh, that's such a nice shift. Oh wow, this the video is trippy for sure. Yes. Ooh, I like this. They're always so musically interesting. Wow, her growl gets deep. Okay, this is awesome. The video, well, everything, but the video is what I'm referring to. Oh, that's cool. Visual audio synchronicity is fantastic. Woohoo! Oh man, she sounds good. Oh, okay, I wanted something loud. I got it. That is fantastic. I'm just going to check the description and see before I start talking if there is any information I need to know. Highly anticipated 5th studio album released on February the 7th, 2025. Oh, right, okay. Duel. But this was released in January 2021. They've got their... Oh, that's 2025. Oh, they toured with Trivium. That would have been a good gig. Oh, with Bloodywood as well. And Baby Metal. Damn. I don't think they came up to Canada, though. Come to Canada! No, all in North America. Please come to Canada! I'll go and see you! And the next tour's European. Anyway, this I like. Video credits. Story by Jinjer. I think that's great, because there is... It's a small story, but there is a story to that. And I like that. The evolution throughout the video of the actual storytelling is fantastic. I enjoy that a lot. Then there's the team, then there's lyrics and socials and things like that. Okay, yeah, cool. No particular information there I need to reference, but that was awesome. There's some really cool stuff going on in this. So let's go back to the beginning and bring the video back up and let's talk about what's happening here. That is such an interesting introduction in and of itself. Just, you have this very kind of... I love, for a start, oh, I need to watch my head. I'm falling behind the video. What am I trying to say? The reverb and actually just the sound that have been used on the guitar kind of give it this ever so slightly distant, ethereal quality, I think, which I really, really like. Like, it's obviously, it feels like it's being played close, but there's that distance behind it that's been created in the audio mix. And I really, really like that. And I love that we just start off with that ostinato, essentially. Bum, bum. It feels like da-da-da-da-da-da-da. That feels like we've settled on our 5th. But what's interesting is there's no real assignation of key at this point in time. We don't really know where we're going with this. We don't know if we're major, if we're minor, if this is an off-key intro, or if this is going to be on-key and this is where we're starting. It's left very open, and you just have that da 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 at the end, which doesn't sound like it's our tonic, which makes it feel like a 5th. And then the guitars, that's just echo there. It's decay, the dum, 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 dum. But then we have the drums coming in over the top of that. So the drums are essentially playing solo because they're playing over the top of the guitar echo, not the actual guitar notes. And I really like that too. Also, these guys are killing it with these instrumental parts. Vladdy's drum part in this is insane. I mean, everybody's part in this is insane because they're Jinjer and that's what they do. But the drums in this are so tight. But I love that we just start out very, very simply, just the guitar, then we get guitar and drums. And it's not a quiet drum part, and it's not a simple drum part. Like, he's doing a lot with this. We're not 4 on the floor here, we're something much more involved, and it's not just the rhythm section, it's a part of the rhythm of the melody as well, almost. Or at least a counter melody. It's constantly in motion, and where he's choosing to hit which drum as well is so. I mean, obviously that's critical. That's what drumming is, but the rhythm here is very intricate. Oh, how did I mute that? Oh, M mutes YouTube. You learn something every day. Yeah, you're getting a really tight, and it's almost a martial rhythm there. That taka 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 taka. But the sound of the drum specifically that he's playing that on gives it kind of like a marching band quality. And I kind of really like that because it gives us... It's an additional level of texture to this that is supplied very much by the amount that he is using that specific drum, and I really like it. And I like that we're almost getting our 4 on the floor from the hi-hat here, right? It's not, he's playing a more complicated rhythm than that, but that downbeat is always falling on the hi-hat, and that's where we're getting our pulse. I mean, obviously we can already identify the pulse, but we're being provided it there, and I really like that. And then we just get the word like, and then boom, boom, from the bass. Didn't catch quite what note it played there before I paused it, but I love that we get that dual intro at that point in time. So that intro is guitar and drum feature. There's no bass in that. Tati's quiet. It's a really, really nice sound because it's kind of in the middle register of everything that's going on. And it's so nice to then suddenly get that dum-dum, I think that might actually have been the note, coming in at that point in time and providing that bass, which to this point in time has come through more from the distortion that's on the guitar than it has done from another instrument. Well, it hasn't been on another instrument, and I really like that. Also, the drums too, fairly high register. There's not a lot of bass. There's a couple of bits of like floor tom coming through during some of the fills that he's doing, but Vladdy's keeping that fairly high up. And I really appreciate that because it keeps everything in a similar register and it gives us a lot of space to move. Like a lunatic, frantic. The man in the room looks so dramatic with a... This is lovely. The double tracking she's done on herself so that she's harmonizing with her voice. You get that beautiful harmony coming through at that point in time. But I really love the way that this melody is constructed. Like a lunatic, frantic. It's an interesting, like a lunatic, frantic. It's very tight to get it together, except for this frantic, making a syllable on its own, essentially. Frantic. It adds that just a very slight drop, and it's not a lot, like a lunatic, bum bum. It's just the 5th. And frantic. We've got the major 7th there. So it's only going down 2 tones from where the melody's going to end up anyway with that da-da. Just adds a little extra character to it. Sorry for the pause. As I worried, this fell down. That's going to happen a couple of times, I think. I will note when it does. Like a lunatic, frantic. The man in the room looks so dramatic with... And then you get this so dramatic, but with the higher harmony as well. Looks so, the man in the room looks so. Suddenly we're jumping up again, and it's a much bigger jump this time, and it's nice because we're keeping this tight melody that's da 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 all around that little area, and then just these little jumps up, and it gives it a really nice kind of pattern to follow, essentially. What I also love is the amount of internal rhyming in this line as well. Like a lunatic. Frantic. Dramatic. If, not really much there. Traffic. And then back to dramatic again. That traffic, having the lunatic frantic and then traffic dramatic, they're not necessarily full rhymes the whole way through, but having those in the middle of the lines is really nice because it gives us this, having that ick sound coming back again and again gives us it gives us a holistic sense essentially to that verse, which is really, really nice.
The spiral traffic feels too dramatic.
I love this too dramatic. So we're just on this semitone. Too dramatic. It's a full tone there. Too dramatic. But it's the same movement. But we get this here, and it slides up. It's giving us it's tight motion followed by a brief large motion, but also the large motion tends to point us in a direction, whether that's an evolution of the music or in this case where it's taking us to the next note. And I think that's really, really nice. It's a very, very tightly constructed melody at this point. Also, I like instrumentally what's going on here. We've got this very kind of consistent sound between the bass and the guitar, and then that kind of pushy drum with these little coming in here and there. There's lots and lots and lots of drum hits in a short space of time here. It's a very complicated groove. But then we just get the bell chord, bum, 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 bum. It's not quite those notes, but for effect, in the guitar at that point in time. And then you get the dum, and we've earned that by the pause. It gives us a moment to breathe before we then come in with a bigger sound. And I really, really like that. I think that is an excellent build. So many things here. Guitar, far more distorted, also giving it... Notice, here's something I'm going to hit on really hard here. The entire arrangement just dropped in register, right? Guitar is more distorted, giving it more of a bass sound. The bass is more prevalent, making it a greater part of what's going on here. The drums, he's changed the drums he's hitting. Not only are we now in a slower groove, but he's hitting... The bass drum is a bit more present. The tone of the drum sound overall has dropped. I really like that, because at the same time, that has come out of this... where Tati's going up. Really nice. And notice we're still getting in the guitar. Dum, 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 dum. It's this kind of... We're hitting around these arpeggios that we've got here. That dum, dum, dum. It's just your minor arpeggio. But that bow, 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 bow. We're keeping around those motions of semitones and tones, but we're adding in those drops as well. So there's a lot of sort of cohesion here between the melody that we've had previously and now what the guitar is playing behind, which I like a lot. Oh, I've muted it again. Sorry. I'm in a very awkward position here for using my keyboard. Ba da 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 da. Again, da 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 da. This is what's so interesting with this piece is there's a lot of tight moments, and it's making those drops and jumps stand out more. Really cool. So we've got this pattern of da 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 da. We sort of stagger down the octave and then jump back up again to start the next line. It's so cool. And that, yeah, it's a motion we haven't heard before, and it signifies the end of a section. This melody is so good at progressing the narrative of the song and highlighting it. I really like this. Sorry, momentary cut there. This fell down again. Sorry, this is an awkward space to be recording in, but like I said, it's the only place I could guarantee for this week. It always interests me seeing how instrumentalists choose to play their instruments, and seeing people who play the bass kind of strapped higher up on the body. I've played both bass and guitar in my time, neither particularly well. But I was never able to play, like I'd always have to loosen the strap, and I sort of played the, what I think is seen as a bit more of a punk way, where it was kind of down more towards my hip. That was just always more comfortable for me. But it fascinates me because it kind of gives a silhouette to an instrumentalist. And I think in this case that's kind of apt with the bright light behind. Speaking of, I wanted to talk about this as a setting for a video, because quite apart from the upcoming Vortex, this kind of sort of study type look is such a fascinating place to have a music video set, especially something of this ilk. You've got these beautiful windows all over the place, which have got the wonderful light that we're getting in here, which is a real highlight. You look at things like this, and this beautiful light on Tati's hair, and the way that you don't see it quite so much over where the window actually is, but the outline on the microphone, on her hands, the highlights on the fingernails, there's so much detail that's being picked out by this lighting, and it's very much being afforded to them by the fact that they're able to light from multiple directions, but because it's coming through from outside, regardless of whether or not it is, it looks surprisingly natural. I also love that Vladdy's drums are kind of set up more or less where you'd expect the desk to be. It's kind of, this is fun. This is a really enjoyable setting for a music video. What time signature did we just go into? I was trying to focus on that and I lost it. I think that was a 14, or was it 15? I lost it. Yeah, that was a 14, so I'm not sure if that was an 8 and a 6 or what it was, but we had a 14 count before the next evident downbeat, which I love what they do with rhythm. Like, Jinjer's use of rhythm is fantastic, and that's a really, really nice thing to do there. I want to listen to other stuff as well, I knew that was coming. Notice how Tati is mixed as well. She's surprisingly low in the mix here. Now, she's kind of in a lower register, so she's closer to the instruments anyway. But she's a little bit less of the focus right now than she was a couple of seconds ago. And I actually really like that, because the instruments play they obviously, any band, instruments always play a significant part. But there's a point here where she almost feels like she's backing the instruments up a little bit, that we're about to hit, once she starts growling. And the way that they're kind of allowing that blend to happen now is really interesting. This is fascinating. I think they've got, actually, I don't think they stuck to any time signature there. I'm pretty sure that was not another 14. This is fascinating. Sorry, I need to listen to this for a minute. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. But I think there's a 7 there. It feels like it, right? 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Boom. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, and on... Oh, what they do with timing is so bizarre. I'm not sure quite how to count that, because the downbeat there came on 12. So that would have been a 7 followed by an 11, which was probably more like a 7 and a 4 or something like that. But it's, you know, because there's not necessarily a steady, like an identifiable downbeat on what I think is the downbeat each time, it's actually quite difficult to pick this apart. But I love how much they can do this. It's not quite math rock, but it's got a little element of that hidden in the back of it, and I am absolutely here for it. I love there, she's not going to start full growling yet, but we get the scream double tracking her for that line, so there's a little hint that it's coming. And if I also love that it's double tracked, because if this were somebody's first foray into Jinjer, the fact that it's double tracked, people would clearly be looking for who the screamer is, because they won't expect it to be Tati. That's kind of fun. I love we've got this da-da-da-da-da-da, this use of these climbing broken arpeggios while the arpeggio itself is descending. The overall register of the song is actually climbing. You're just jumping up each time. This really, really effective stuff in the instrumentation here. There's so much happening. I'm sure I'm going to miss a ton during the course of this reaction, but I'm going to pick up what I can. Hang on, was that? Where does this come from? I think that's for tightening one of the drums, isn't it? This da-da-da-da-da-da-bum. These, again, we've got these jumps in the guitar as well. It's kind of, there's a lot of mimicry of sort of, not of exact lines, but of style of approaching a line. Oh, there's a really lovely moment of... the half an hour. In half an hour, in half an hour. There's a lovely moment of concordance there where everything just kind of feels like it's resolved for a hot second and then bleeds away again. It's that upper harmony. It's in half an hour, in half an hour. It drops down to the major seventh and it throws it off in a really interesting way. Half an hour up there, which is a line we've heard. Da 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 da. We heard that earlier, and it's now coming back in that harmony there. But just that da da da, it drops it in a way that just throws a little discordance back in very quickly, and I really like that. So there's just some lovely motion in this melody. It's always going somewhere. Even when we have those repetitive semitones or full tones, it's always leading somewhere, and I love that. Oh. And again, we have that, the same way that we had the dramatic, the slide up, whatever it was, that was awful. But here we have that, she sings and sings and suddenly the scream comes out. And again, I can't scream, but it comes in the back and suddenly she starts the next line screaming. This transition from A to B is really, really cool. And then on that once she's had that long, the long held note for a second there, she comes back in on that, and it's the deeper growl now. She's dropped down a little bit, but we've been set up by that moment of screaming beforehand. I also love that this is the point where the building starts to crack as well. It's very effective. And now we've gone from this very melodic motive line that we've had beforehand. Now we're just getting this down, 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 down. Like we're hitting, it's the same discordant note again and again. Bow, 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 down, 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 down. Down, 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 down. Yeah, it's a tritone. Sorry, it took me a second to figure that out. But there's a tritone between the guitar and the bass, and the most evident notes there, and it's really effective at throwing discord and off balance. Wow, I can't speak today. An off balance feeling into the mix for this. And that down, down. It's there's only very little motion in this, otherwise we're staying in one place. There's actually and I like the fact that there's actually a little bit more motion arguably in the drums. The way that we've got this like the I'm not sure it's is it the open hat or is it the crash? Yeah, I think it's the open hat he's playing there. Where there's that cymbal that's hitting the 4. So we go staying very on time. But if you listen to the drum sounds that he's hitting as he's going, we're flitting between lower and higher sounds, kind of giving it's almost like he's flipping between the bass and the guitar line. But you know what I mean. But it's interesting because it's got sorry, didn't mean to do that. It's got more adjustment to it in notes over this little section and in pitch than the melodic instruments do. That the difference between the down there on what sounds like the floor tom or something like that, but then the higher up on the snare. I was saying it's got some real variety to it, and this fell down again. Sorry. Oh, there's their timing there on those cracks. Oh, there is the first d down at the bottom, the first crack appears, and on the second crack appears. That's really cool. Very small, but musically timing the cracks in the building. Obviously actually that could happen if a building was being affected by the sound, but obviously that's not what's going on here, particularly. Maybe it is, but you know, obviously there's this whole Vortex thing happening outside. But that musically timing them is so satisfying, even if you don't realize it's happening. This is so interesting. This kind of threw me off the first time around because it's just so kind of, whoa, where's the camera going? But what I do like is, A, there's this giant vortex outside that we haven't seen yet that is obviously impacting everything that's going on in here. B, we've seen these objects flying through the air, and it's kind of like the camera is now one of them. And I'm absolutely here for that. I think that's great. Also, have you noticed the camera's always moving, almost always moving, but it's a little bit steadier when it's focusing on Tati. Just a little. It doesn't flay around quite as much as it does with the others. And I love this da-da-da thing that we've got going on here. This kind of setup for these long held notes is really, really nice. No, it's just what you're this semi-tonal movement that we've got here, jumping between the octaves, is really nice. Man, her growl never ceases to impress me. She has got such good control over her voice. It is unbelievable. Really, really, also epic expression here. Yes, I'm sorry. It's Eugene, right? I think the bassist. That's kind of awesome. But yeah, her growl is utterly phenomenal. It really, really is. And to be able to slide in and out of it with the agility that she shows when she does it, quite remarkable. And notice here, we're playing around with those semitones still. They're really important to this entire piece. It's like it's a little not a motif, but like it's a identifiable feature of this is having those all over the place. And I love here where the guitar and the bass are going completely haywire. This is where the drums are at their most steady. Just dung, 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 dung. Like we really have a sense of a strong beat here in a way that we haven't had anywhere else in the song. Meanwhile, the guitars are all over the place. It's really cool counterpoint. This is so cool. And it's this, I love that we get this change of tone and it starts with that kind of really deep growl that she's got there, which, wow, it's deep. Like, her voice is really deep. I knew she had a really good growl in her. I don't think I've realized quite how deep she can go. But... I love that we've hit this dum ticka dum ticka dum ticka dum ticka dum ticka dum rhythm. It's a really driving feel, and at the same time, it doesn't feel like the pace has picked up in any way. Obviously, the tempo hasn't changed, but it doesn't feel like we're pushing forward, even though we've now got this. And so, what it does do is it adds menace. This is a really menacing moment in this song, and it kind of, I guess, we're kind of building up to that reveal of what's actually going on with the Vortex as well. So, story-wise, actually makes a lot of sense. Another thing that's just cutting through a little bit. The melody of the guitar a little bit more obscured by distortion, but then every now and then you just get that little bit pulling through that's really identifiable. Really, really nice. And this motion blur that's been added to this, I'm not sure exactly what technique has been used to apply it, but where you kind of get the, it looks like the hands of the drummer, for example, you've kind of got this stream of motion behind them and things like that. It's really effective for this video, and I love the idea that the reality is kind of being slowly torn apart here. Definitely going to have to put a flickering lights warning on this video, that's for sure. And that's so interesting. We get this very melodic moment on the guitar for a second before we switch back to Tati singing in a normal singing voice as opposed to her growl. And we've had this thing going on the whole time, which is very kind of octave semitonal based, riffing off what I was talking about before, and then it's not a definable melody, but it is so much more melodic than what we were just listening to, and that gives it a different vibe entirely as we lead into the next section. Like a feather I travel down, da 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 da. Da, 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 da. Really interesting melody. Sorry, I was just thinking about the the usage of that and where it comes else in the song. But that da 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 da, there's that fifth again. Like a feather I travel down, there's the fifth. So we're all within that same bracket once again. Really, the melody for this is fascinating because it's so tight and yet it always seems to be traveling somewhere. Now, obviously, she's double tracking this because you can hear her growling over the top of her singing, but I just love this constant in, out of sung line, especially this kind of da, da, da. It's almost like the melody is melting, like sliding down, and then into this growl, and then back up again and back down again. It's such a wonderful movement. And here now we've gone out of 4/4. Previously we were in a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very distinctly. Listen now. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1. It's totally changed for a hot second, and we're getting these shifts of meter, which is really interesting, because it keeps the ear intrigued. We hear something that sounds definitively different to what we were listening to before. I'm totally here for this. This is so interesting too, this line. I love how much we're changing the texture all the time of what we're hearing. Sometimes the guitar's the lead, most of the time Tati's the lead, and sometimes she's singing and sometimes she's screaming. Near here and there, the drums are actually the lead, even though they're not melodic. Really interesting to hear. This is all vocal lead. Everything behind, even though the guitars are doing stuff, this is entirely led by Tati at this point in time, and they're all back up. And here we enter this very definable 1, 2, 3, and 2, 2, 3. So it's got a different vibe to it because the guitar is doing this da 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 da, whatever the notes are it's actually playing. But we've got this much more consistent, definable. It's almost like a 6/8 rhythm. Really, really nice stuff there. Also, can I just say the graphics in this video are fantastic. Like, this looks incredibly real. Obviously, the Vortex is generated, we can tell that. But if you look at the city and the way that this has been lit, it's really, really good. And we have this. Again, the drums are fairly heavy, even though they're back in the mix. We have this insistent guitar that is leading. Da, 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 na, 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 na. There we go, I think that was the notes. But then Tati's singing, but she's much more in the background once again. Really nice stuff. And all she said, da 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 da, and only in that last note, as I paused there, did she move down. Very semitonal once again. Da 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 da. It's not a particularly, for want of a better phrase, and I don't mean this in any derogatory way, it's not a particularly interesting melody, but it's doing what it needs to do because it's supporting the effect and the atmosphere that's being created at this point. And there again, as we lead up towards this next section, she's singing away, and slowly through the background, that scream creeps back in again, telling us, hey, we're about to change tenor of the song once again. It's how she's using that in this to tell the story of the movement of the song is so effective. I don't even know what that time signature is again. But I love that we have this and this big hit from the band, the growl from her that kind of prompts this pulse in the Vortex. As I said in the watch through, the video audio synchronicity in this song is fantastic. I think that's 5/8, 5/8, and then a bar of, well, I'm counting 8/8, but I think 4/4. I think that's how this works. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm not sure. Because sorry, I keep vanishing behind the video. Their timing and their control of timing in this is so well put together that without seeing one of these pieces written out by them, I'm not sure I'd trust it. But it's really cool because, again, they're playing with time. Because 5, 5, and 8 gives you 18. 18 is a multiple of 6, and we've just been in 6/8. Or 3/4. Depending on how you choose to look at it. But it's not a multiple of 4, which is what the ear is most comfortable hearing. And so even when you listen to a piece of music in 6/8, you'll often hear 2 bars at a time. So even though you're sort of hearing a 1, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, and ultimately if you're conducting it, it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It would be very easy to hear that as a ya da 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 da, and hear it as triplet 4s, because the ear has a tendency to lean towards hearing in 4, at least in Western music, because that's what we're used to hearing. And so when you get something like this that throws the rhythm off so strongly, it becomes very impactful. And I love that everything has been flying past in the video, disappearing into the vortex, and then suddenly just all of a sudden, we, as the camera, take off and get swallowed up. And again, we're messing around with time, but it feels like we've come out of compound time, which is what you call anything that's in multiples of 3, and we've gone back into simple time, which is what you call anything in multiples of 4, or 2s, or whatever, like this 1, 2, 3, 4, as opposed to 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, whatever that rhythm, that's the difference between those two rhythms. I'm not 100% sure of the timing, because I think they're messing around with it again, but we've definitely pulled back into simple time here. Like there, dum, 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 dum. It doesn't feel like it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, or something like that. It's not giving us that vibe anymore. So they're shifting in and out of those rhythms very, very effectively. Also, I love this kind of trash golem, whatever this creature is. That this amalgamation of everything that's been swallowed up into the vortex is really cool. Oh, some of the shots in this are so good. I'm really enjoying the rhythm that we're listening to right here. And again, it's this just dum 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 dum, and there's very little change away from that note, but it's just very, very effective for the atmosphere that this song is all about. But some of these shots, I want to try and find, like this right here, where it's I mean, look at that. The lighting and the CG that has gone into this video, and those transitions between this sort of lightning strike of like super bright backlighting into you almost can't see it, and yet there's still this glint. The work that's gone into the look of this video is stunning. And then you get these crazy negative shots. You get these close-up looks of whatever this creature is, covered in everything from road signs to cars to whatever else. This is remarkable. Oh, and I love that we end there too. It's so good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. 1, 2. Because it's da-da-dum. That's such a great moment to stop, because we know what's coming. We've heard this already when we were being sucked into the vortex, this 558, 558, and instead they give us 558, 552. Stop. Really, really good. It gives us this very jarring end to the music. That is such a good song with such a good video. And once again, rhythmically and musically, they have blown me away. And that video is phenomenal as well. There's so much to focus on in a Jinjer song. I am very well aware I probably just missed a ton of stuff. And I may well pick a few things up while I'm editing. But please do mention some things in the comments, because I'm sure there's some bits and pieces I did not pick up on during that, because there's so much to listen to. But that is truly phenomenal. Amazing showing. Actually, I've highlighted Tati and Vladdy throughout that. But Eugene and Roman's work in that was just as spectacular. That guitar part is a beast. And the bass is largely mimicking a lot of the rhythm that's going on there. And the four of them together, like, this is a song that is put together by a really cohesive, really well-structured band. They did such a great job with this. And that would not work if every member of that group was not just as strong as all the others. So that's phenomenal. Wonderful stuff. Thank you to those who recommended that to me. I really do appreciate that. And just really good to be back with Jinjer again, because I'm really enjoying their music, and I need to listen to more of it so I can actually add them to playlists more often. But yeah, that's wonderful. And thank you for being here with me, especially if you're still here at the end of the video. I really appreciate the time you spend with me. And that's fantastic. And I hope you learned something. I hope this brought something to you, whether it was just why you like something, or maybe you heard something for the first time in 4 years that you'd never heard before, or whatever it happened to be. As long as I can bring some substance to you about this song, that's kind of what I'm trying to do. And it won't be for everybody, but hopefully it'll be for some people, and that will make me a very happy man if it is. Yeah, so please do hit the like button, subscribe button, and notification bell. And if you would care to support the channel, you can head to buymeacoffee.com/DavidKReacts, where you can leave a one-off donation of any amount. You can head to patreon.com/DavidKReacts, where you can leave you can sign up for $2 or $4 Canadian or your regional equivalent, and that is going to expand this year. There will be more Patreon content, and right now it's just ongoing support of the channel and access to my Discord, but that's going to expand out as we go. Or you can leave a super thanks here on YouTube. Any of those very gratefully appreciated if you should choose to do them. But for now, that's it for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. As I say, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, whatever time it is you're watching this, morning, afternoon, evening. Let's go for 9:59 a.m. Maybe someone's watching this early in the morning. I don't know. But yes, take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.